Hi, Steve Cooper, Rank Success, and whether you noticed or not, recently the National Police Chiefs Council, NPCC, published a report, quite a wide-ranging report, in relation to violence against women and girls. So I'll put the link to the stuff I'm talking about here below this video, and I'll also be doing a blog in which this video will be embedded, so there'll be a lot more covered in the blog, but essentially it relates to violence against women and girls, and the media have obviously picked up on criticising the police, very predictable angle, because it's not particularly good reading, certainly in terms of numbers. Forces are responding defensively. Cops are fed up with being lambasted again, and for me, it's just worth bypassing all the media reports and even the National Police Chiefs Council's kind of summary of force responses. The devil's in the detail, and there's a statistics sheet that's published on the NPCC's website as well. And just let's take a moment. It relates to a 6-month period, and it talks about 508,000 crimes against women and girls in total in 6 months between October 21 and March 22. 500,000 crimes against women and girls, and that includes 85 homicides, 1,800 assaults with injury on female police officers, 1,200 modern slavery offences. And some of the stats in there that jump out here: overall just 6% resulted in a charge, and 38% had suspects but the victim didn't support. So there's lots and lots of issues in with those statistics, but the statistics one was where the devil's in the detail. It's really worth you having a look, and particularly if you're going for promotion, this is the kind of thing you really need to have your kind of finger on the pulse with, because it lends itself to promotion board questions, presentations and scenarios. How will you, as a newly promoted leader, ensure that we're delivering the best service we can to victims of violence and violence against women and girls offences? Tell us a bit about it. What do you know about it? What's your plan? So inspectors develop and implement plans and identify and manage operational threats and risks. Bring it all back to the context of going for promotion. But I saw this and I thought, well, there's various themes here that cut across, cross-cutting on your leadership if you're going for a promotion opportunity. So around investigation, the questions can come at you from investigation. I recently did a blog on that in relation to the process of investigation, from instigation of these crimes, and all crimes really, through to the initial investigation, through to the investigative evaluation of these crimes, and arriving at the first decision point at which you can start to make a decision around whether that crime is going to go on for further investigation. Now, I also accept there's a real world out there, and I saw a tweet yesterday by a detective sergeant who alluded to 4 people on the team, and they had 140 crimes between them to investigate. I mean, it's cloud cuckoo land. Such are the pressures on officers today. This 500,000 crimes are landing on someone's desk to investigate, to take lines of inquiry on, to finalise if there's no further evidence. And as I said earlier on, 38% of these crimes, 500,000 of them, had suspects but the victim didn't support. So whilst some of these issues are quite complex in relation to it, and it's only the first kind of report by NPCC on this, I think the Met have already said, the Commissioner's already said he's going to report again on stats for the Met by March. You can pick up from this that there's probably some key performance indicators coming your way in terms of performance. So coming back to some of the investigative and leadership issues that you may face in a promotion selection process. So the 6% of these offences resulted in charge, and that includes rapes. And I've also done a previous video on that in relation to the recent review of rape investigations. And I'll embed that in the blog, which this video's embedded in as well. So again, a key focus around standards of investigation. You can't do too much around the volume of it yourself if you're looking at this issue right now, but in terms of standards, that's where the questions are going to come at, because promotion boards, promotion panels are going to want to be reassured that if you're going to put yourself forward to lead a team, that in relation to team performance, you're all over the investigation process and standards, because essentially the role of a sergeant, if we're talking about sergeants, supervisors and managers of investigations, is to set, communicate and reinforce standards around investigations. So whilst the kind of volume of crime might go up and down, and what lands on the desks and workloads of your individuals, your team members, might change, those standards by which you are applying your skills as an investigator need to be kept at the best level, and you'll be asked about it, so that will be tested. So how will you deliver the best victim support? How will you try and encourage victims to go through the criminal justice process? It's very, very difficult. I've got the easy job of pitching these questions to you. It's for you to do the thinking around that, because you need to reassure and persuade and influence all leadership skills, a promotion panel, that you will apply yourself to the highest standards possible within the confines of what you're operating to. Performance questions, so effectiveness and results. I talked about key performance indicators that might be likely to be coming to your force as a result of this. Clearly there's a massive interest in this, 500,000 crimes in just 6 months. So there's going to be a key focus around this. Are you aware of that? Can you get ahead of the curve on that in relation to your force's performance, your areas performance? How are you doing, and what are your thoughts and ideas about how you can get better? Well-being, one of the issues in there is that there's 1,800 assaults on female constables with injury, so that's quite a high statistic for a 6-month period of time. What are the risks around that in relation to your staff? What support's available? There are issues around pay for that as well, and I'll be doing a separate blog in relation to pay shortly. And professional standards. So the police service, as a result of this, quite rightly is gearing itself up to expel misogynists. There's standards around that. You'll be tested in relation to that. You'll be asked around the code of ethics. So what does the code of ethics mean to you? How does the code of ethics support you as a leader in doing your job? And don't be surprised if you get some really difficult scenarios around managing staff, because there's a whole culture that is got no place in policing at the moment, and that's reflected in some of these stats, and also all the issues have gone on in the media and that are well known in terms of cases, in terms of violence against women by police officers, and the culture of violence against women and girls within policing itself. So there's a whole issue around that. What are your thoughts on that? You know, if you're asked to kind of talk a bit about that, what do you know about it at the moment? What's your ideas around setting standards? So professional standards teams will be very busy in relation to that, reviewing previous offences and previous incidents of misconduct in the force, and there's a whole operation going to be going on, I'm sure, nationwide by police forces to drive up standards around that, and to get out the bad apples, the very few bad apples that are in policing but that disproportionately affect the culture and certainly the public perception and trust and confidence in policing. So consider those presentation scenarios. I mean, it is a massive issue, and policing itself cannot deal with this on its own. But that's not the question for you. On a promotion selection process, you will be asked for your thoughts around this, your leadership actions around this, and reports like this, and specifically the stats around this, can really help you get a grip of it, get an overview of it, so that you can respond to interview questions as well as answering them, and just add that value and show the board that you are a well-informed, well-prepared candidate, and that you can reassure them that you will attack this issue with energy, drive, enthusiasm and focus the best you can, so that the public can rest assured that you are the right person to promote at that time. So yes, it's a massive issue. It cuts across lots of areas, shocking figures. but it all comes down basically to your workloads, your teams, your approach to investigations, your knowledge around those, as well as the wider issues that are affecting policing at the moment. Okay, so I will be doing a larger blog on this, and it will be embedding this video and a couple of others. Again, support with your promotion is available at ranksuccess.co.uk, which is my site. You'll also find free blogs at policepromotion.blog, and you can download, if you want to just hit the ground running with effective promotion preparation for your promotion opportunity, you can go to ranksuccess.co.uk and just download the digital bespoke toolkit for you if you're going for sergeant, or if you're going for inspector and chief inspector, where all these things are really important in terms of performance and your overview and knowledge. Then you can download those from my site anytime you wish. Okay, I'll be back with another video in due course, and until then, take care and stay safe.